This would be a masterstroke from Arsenal. There's no doubt about it. Just under a week ago, Ben Jacobs revealed that Eze of Crystal Palace has become a target of Arsenal's. Since then, there have been reports that Tottenham have completely pulled away from the deal or have cooled their interest. It's now been revealed by Fabrizio Romano that Arsenal have made a movement forward. They've advanced the deal from just having an interest to having conversations with the player and with Crystal Palace about the buyout clause. Plus, we're going to talk about an update from Sam Dean about the potential of Rodrygo coming in, who is said to be on the bench for a third consecutive game for Real Madrid at the Club World Cup. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to Terry Lewis TV right about now. But I want to read this out to you. This is in relation to Eze, and it says that Arsenal had a meeting with the agent of Eze over the weekend. It was an important meeting because Arsenal wanted to start discussions with the players' side about eventual conditions of the deal. For me, you boil that down to, what do you want to be paid? Well, this is what we're willing to offer. Squad status, shirt numbers, the full caboodle on personal terms. Arsenal can start to genuinely understand what the player wants, and he will know whether or not he's interested in the club. It says Arsenal have all the information on the release clause, the instalments, all the information from the player's side now in terms of salary and the whole package. Arsenal are now informed. So very much advance the situation from having him on the list to now having all the details, knowing the demands of the player. The player has an understanding of why they like him. He says it is quite a positive meeting. The player is not close to a move, but he would be open to joining Arsenal. Now, I personally think that is significant. Not close to the deal being agreed as of right now, but open to that move to Arsenal, which again, I typically find, especially if the story from Ben Jacobs is true about Spurs pulling out, that's normally code for the player's really happy with what he heard and is very much, they don't like to often now claim that's the club for me in case it falls through, because we don't know yet with any certainty whether it's Eze, a striker number 9 with an Eze, or whether it's a striker, a player like Eze, and an out-and-out left winger. Nobody's quite sure yet. There's been some mutterings and some suggestions. He went on to say that Arsenal are busy with several things, but we have to add Eze. Arsenal are pushing and working quite strong on this one, which is what's so interesting. So when you hear the whole thing, they're now informed. It's not close yet, but they're pushing and working quite strong on this one, which sounds very, very positive indeed, considering that for many months he has been favourites to sign him with Tottenham. Arsenal are now the favourites to land Eze. That all being said, there was an update from Sam Dean in relation to Rodrigo, where he said Arsenal have been exploring the conditions of various deals for attackers across Europe. Arsenal are known to have a strong interest in Rodrigo and could make a move for Anthony Gordon. Now, what's going to be very intriguing in the next few days is whether or not Arsenal's sort of secret approach, top secret approach, I've seen it mentioned too by others, and I know that will piss off like certain Arsenal fans online and certain football fans online. I don't like the transfer terminology, and I get it. I read it and laughed because I just look beyond that. I don't think it's that important. But kind of their top secret plan. Are Arsenal about to pull off an absolute madness? Are Arsenal, after securing their fringe players, about to go and get one of the best attacking midfield players in the Premier League? Are they going to add a prolific striker or someone like Sesko that may not have the prolific goals to his side, but for me he's a very good player overall and he's going to get better and better and better? And then it becomes about that left wing. And I've said all along, Rodrigo is the guy, he's the guy, he's the guy. But there's another player that I don't think we should discount from this, and that is Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, I wasn't that keen on him when he went to Newcastle. I kind of wrote him off. But the longer he's been there, the more I can see actually that he has an explosiveness, there's an eye for a goal, and I still think there's levels to go. And again, the links between Arsenal and Anthony Gordon continue to grow. So I think one thing's for sure, and I'm taking Fabrizio Romano's word on this, I think Arsenal fans should be excited. They've got a lot of the fringe work done. They're some of the best central midfielders available and attainable central midfielders in the world. So yes, of course, there are better midfielders than Zubimendi, but can Arsenal get them? Do they want to join Arsenal? If the answer is no, it's almost immaterial when it comes to your transfer window. It's very important to remember that. The fringe players are they're either announced or they're going to happen. They're kind of done. It's now about bringing in the big hitters to compete with Liverpool and to compete with Manchester City. And I think now we're starting to see more and more of these stories come out. And it looks like Arsenal are going to have a brilliant summer. Fabrizio, along with many other journalists, consistently saying Arsenal fans should feel excited. There should be a big anticipation. And I think if they do pull off Eze, who I think, if I'm being honest with you, I think Eze, for me, the more I think about him going to Arsenal, the more it pisses me off. The more I think about him going to Arsenal, the word needle mover has been used so much this summer, and it appears that's going to happen. But only a few short days ago, he was just on a list. There was no real movement. There was no real progression. That has changed today. The Rodrygo deal, that was being played down 3 to 4 weeks ago. But with barely any game time at the Club World Cup, seemingly not in the first team plans right now of Alonso, there's going to be more business by Real Madrid. And they didn't do a great deal, I believe, before the Club World Cup. Many others, like Chelsea, I know Liverpool weren't in it, but they were forced into 2 transfers because other clubs needed them. City, of course, did a lot of business before it. Real Madrid are going to go out there into the market, and this man ain't getting on the pitch now. It doesn't look or read well for him in any capacity whatsoever as a Real Madrid player. But I think this is why Arsenal were biding their time. And again, when you look at it as a master plan, you know, when you look at it as an objective, I know we as football fans all keep saying, get business done quickly, get business done early, get the deals over the line. Well, if Arsenal would have gone out in that opening 10 days, spent all their money, done it all, one, they'd be in weaker negotiating situations with the players they're selling because now they have to sell. Secondly, you may miss out, and I know people hate the phrasing that's being used, but whatever you want to call a market opportunity, you can miss out on them. If Arsenal would have gone, oh, look, the Spanish press are saying Rodrigo is going to stay. Oh, look, he's going to go to the Club World Cup. Let's move on. He's off the table. Imagine they went out and went, oh, we can't get Cherky, we can't get Wirtz, but it's just, you know, they're going to get more Gibbs White. Gibbs White. By the way, Gibbs White's very good. I think Eze's better. But Gibbs White's still currently sitting at his football club and is arguably attainable. But Eze's now become an option because they didn't rush. And there is a fine line between not rushing and the deals being too late. I feel as though Arsenal, along with my club, Man United, got to start landing these new players. You've got to start bringing them in. You know, end of that first week of I think it's more pressing for Man United because our system still needs to be implemented. It was so poor last year. So I don't think you can look at every club in a sort of monolithic way. But I certainly think, you know, within the first couple of weeks of pre-season, if they could have Zubimendi, if they could have their striker, if they could add an Eze into the team then so they have a full pre-season, they'll be cooking next year. So there is that fine line between a balanced approach, well, between rushing too many deals and missing out on good opportunities in the future and doing too much too late. And I think that there are massive extremities here. Yes, no one is advocating for Arsenal to make all of their signings, all of them in the last 3 days of the window, missing out on an entire pre-season and the first few games of the campaign. But equally, if you rush too early in these windows, you don't know what else might become available. And for me, looking at what Arsenal are doing, the credible reports this evening from Sam Dean and from Fabrizio Romano, coupled with the ongoing saga with Rodrigo, could this master plan of Arsenal's come off? Are we about to see the very best of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal go up against Slot's Liverpool and, listen, a resurgent Man City that have looked brilliant at the Club World Cup? We'll be doing some more content on them later on this week. But hit the like button for us, please, people. Make sure you are subscribing. I'm intrigued to see what Arsenal are cooking here. I don't know about you. Take care, people. Bye-bye.